and Doron, English radio worldwide online.
At first, she didn't succeed, but she tried and tried again, 960 times. A person could know South Korea without knowing Gwangju, an obscure county 170 kilometers south of Seoul. And, at least until recently, a person could know a lot about Gwangju without ever having heard of Cha San-soon, a 69-year-old woman who lives there alone in the mountain-ringed village of Sinchon. However, Miss Cha is an unlikely national celebrity. This diminutive woman, known nationwide as Grandma Cha Sa-soon, has achieved a record that causes people here first to shake their heads with astonishment and then to smile. She failed her driver's tests hundreds of times but never gave up. Finally, she got her license at her 960th try. For about 3 years, starting in April 2005, she took the test once a day, 5 days a week. After that, her pace slowed, about twice a week, but she never quit. Hers is a fame based not only on sheer doggedness, a quality held in high esteem by Koreans, but also the universal human sympathy for a monumental, and in her case, cheerful, loser. When she finally got her license, we all went out in cheers and hugged her, giving her flowers, said Park Soo-yeon, an instructor at Jeonbok Driving School, which Mrs. Cha once attended. It felt like a huge burden falling off our back. We didn't have the guts to tell her to quit because she kept showing up. Once she got her license in May, Hyundai Kia Automotive Group, South Korea's leading car maker, started an online campaign asking people to post messages of congratulations. Thousands poured in. In August, Hyundai presented Mrs. Cha with a €12,000 car. Mrs. Cha, whose name, coincidentally enough, is Korean for vehicle, now also appears on a prime-time television commercial for Hyundai. Born to a peasant family with 7 children but no land, Mrs. Cha spent her childhood working in the fields and studying at an informal night school. It was not until she turned 15 that she joined a formal school as a 4th grader, but her schooling ended there a few years later. Father had no land, and middle school was just a dream for me, she said. Mrs. Cha said she always envied people who could drive, but it was not until she was in her 60s that she got around trying for a license. Here, if you miss the bus, you have to wait 2 hours. Talk about frustration, said Mrs. Cha, who had to transfer to a second bus to get to a driving test site and yet another to reach the market stall. For each of her 960 tests, she had to pay $5 in application fees. On her wall, where she hung black and white photographs of her and her late husband as a young couple and a watch that had stopped ticking, she has also posted a handwritten and misspelled sign that reads, "Never give up."
Helen, Doron, English radio.